think in the,
Hang on, hold up.
What?
Moderate vigor. Have you seen Natsume? Does he look like he has moderate vigor?
He has chaotic energy, yes. But I wouldn't call that moderate vigor.
The chaotic energy and moderate vigor are two different kinds of things, alright? You cast me well. Oh my god. No. I'm not doing that, no.
Oh, really?
Oh, Pat! I hate you.
Chatting couple.
May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife.
That doesn't mean nothing, sir!
Maybe in a real court it would, but I guess that's what I get for being in an anime court.
Hello, everybody, KBTV Under the Sun, and welcome back to another episode of the fourth case of The Greatest Attorney. That was a lot of words, I know. What's her face? Patricia here just gave us a new statement, and there's something really odd about it because pretty sure we only saw 3 books and not 4 books. So,
we have confirmed that Patricia can't count.
No. She can remember the names of the books, but she can't count. So now we gotta present something, and which button do I have to push to make this go?
But she remembers the names of the book. Does she remember the names of the 4th book?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Objection. What's the name of the 4th book, lady?
The music stopped.
We win. So you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right. I remember all of them.
Okay, give me them.
The picture of Monsieur Somebody, What's It Yearnings, A Meal for Someone, and the Thingamy Something.
Those are... No.
I mean...
Well, she remembered the titles.
The Thingamy Something.
Parts of them were someone who was just... One author is just like, what am I to call this? No.
I'm personally fond of A Meal for Someone. Who?
Okay, well that's the first 3 in the thing, and then Thingamy Something. I don't know what that is, but sure, Thingamy Something. Let's go. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no! What flaw?
You can't count. Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
Huh?
Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books.
But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me.
Sorry?
It's that big old lump of a dead body.
She's not dead.
Yeah.
The lady's so large, her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book. That's all.
Wow.
Let's at least try to remember that the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But Mr. Natsume could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you described.
Why not?
Fascinating. And from your sure tone, something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume?
I'm pretty sure I presented it earlier, sir, but sure. Evidence.
Have you tried good evidence this time?
Counsel, you'll present evidence to substantiate your claim or withdraw it. What proof do you have that the accused did not drop 4 books?
This damn
Receipts.
receipt.
Jeez.
I presented this earlier, sir! We all have short-term memory. The evidence is right here, in the form of this bookshop receipt.
From your books?
My books.
No, we're not starting this again.
Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
No.
Did y'all think that maybe the lady had a book?
That's what I'm wondering. Therefore... Yeah?
No, I'm just like, this seems like the obvious conclusion. It's like, okay, so maybe the lady had a book.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's probably what Baroque is gonna argue if there is a fourth one.
I can't wait for Baruch to shut all this down.
Therefore, Mr. Natsumi would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madam, cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was a defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Okay, but,
Rolly's just
okay, but
falls.
is
I like that
Ryunosuke...
he immediately fell and then got right back up.
Okay, is Ryunosuke aware that the receipt that he presented as evidence still proves that the other 3 books are correct?
Yeah? Maybe?
I have a question for you, Ryunosuke. Are you an idiot?
No, I'm just focused on something else.
Yeah, we can see that. It's plainly evident that you're an idiot. That it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my dear Nipponese friend. Oh, back to the racism. Alright, cool.
What?
Stop drinking at work. Like,
To be fair, I think he's only sipped from it once. Every other time
You
he's
are on
tossed it
the-
and broke it.
you are on the clock, dude. What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. How many times do I have to spell this out for you? The fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving.
Uh,
So you've striven. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
he sees right through me.
But your plan was somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
We can all read the receipt, you idiot. It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. He keeps giving all these toasts, but he doesn't actually, like, drink it, so I don't know.
It doesn't
Like-
have actual toast either. When I hear toast, I want to see buttered toast.
Well, you know what? This is England, so you're probably gonna get biscuits.
I
Or
miss
crumpets.
toast. I miss everything bread related.
It's the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony. In every respect.
Oh!
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene of on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
You know, that's kind of detailed. That would have been nice to have known at the beginning, but you know, this is an Ace Attorney video game. But what about
Let me show you the updated autopsy report.
What about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books.
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print? You mean to say...
How many chalices do you have?
A lot.
I need to know. Is this like the infinite fish and chips?
Fish and chips?
Fish
Wow.
and chips. Is this like the infinite fish and chips?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand.
Hey! Maybe you should have looked at this book a little bit more thoroughly. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. And it
Lion's pride.
looks extra crispy.
As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso.
Okay, but why didn't we get the other prints?
No! No!
Because then I could get this reaction, you twit.
Rubble.
Well, that's just rude.
Yes, it is. It's also funny.
Order, order. Although I will admit it is very funny.
There!
Yes,
you
thank
see?
you, my lord.
You see? Look at that! Look!
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir! Patricia's always right, sir! Let us study the receipts for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Really?
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur The picture of Monsieur something or other.
What's
The way
it,
that
Yanks?
looked, the way it looked, it sounded like it's supposed to be liquor. So I was about to say, yeah, Baroque, you'd love that book, wouldn't you?
Canterbury Yearnings.
A meal for someone?
A meal for... God. Dude. Gabbro?
Yeah, sure.
A meal for Gabbro, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly. To save a few words.
Yeah, minor details, sure.
Very minor details, don't worry about it.
Uh,
Mrs. Beat's power of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Rogue, I think you're complimenting her a little too hard on those. They're like, okay, she made a good guess, but I don't think they're exceptional, but sure.
I mean, she remembered the entire word structure of the titles, so I mean, that counts for something.
And plus, we all basically have short-term memories, so that's actually
Yeah.
impressive.
If it didn't happen in this video, we forgot about it.
Did you hear that,
When was
Rolly?
the dodgeball game?
The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir! Flawless, sir! Patricia is flawless!
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that, you twit. Clearly the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print.
I'm sorry, Counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th be omitted from the receipt?
Not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
Whoa, it took us too long to get there. The victim was holding her own book?
Oh yes, yes, who would ever think to hold their own book
Right?
that they own? Terrible.
Reading it in the
Absolutely
middle.
terrible.
Oh, okay. So remember when people are saying, "Oh, those kids are on their dang cell phones all the time." Back in the day, those kids are in their dang books all the time.
What became of that 4th book?
Can we, like, look at it? Because,
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here. It's evidence.
Why couldn't we have that earlier?
Because it was not relevant to the case.
What? Yes, it was.
Until now.
You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, Counsel.
I mean, this whole system wouldn't have worked because as far as I understand, both sides would see all the evidence at the beginning of the case, and there would never be, like, surprise twist or anything. You would just see all the evidence that was going to be used for that day, basically.
I mean, in
Unfortunately
a
for-
modern court of law, yes, I had no idea.
Unfortunately
about
for
that
you,
today.
this is the past, and we do whatever we want.
Oh, this is
Shut up.
also Ace Attorney.
See, irregular Ace Attorney, you can go, this doesn't happen in real court. But this one, you're like, I don't know what they were doing 100 years ago.
Time
And
to
neither
do some
does
research.
anyone else. My pleasure, my lord.
Crime scene
Oh.
photograph number 2. You say something?
Oh, I forgot who was reading.
A second photograph of the scene taken by a policeman just after the incident. It specifically shows the victim's hand.
And it's not holding a knife. Good job, Majima.
Oh, we're doing more. I wasn't paying attention. The 4th book, a book entitled The Lion's Pride, discovered in the victim's hand at the scene.
Well then, we'll just look at these in a bit.
There's a distinct lack of knives in all this Majima speaking. The prosecution rests.
I do not know there's a knife hidden in that book.
Damn, you're right, though. I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your assistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. Spurious longer routes to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination. And the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I? Yep.
You see? Everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat! Marry me, Pat! You're already married. Are you not married?
No, they're
Hang
not.
on, what?
Are they?
I
They're
mean,
called Mr. and Mrs. Beats.
Oh, I guess they are.
Yeah.
I'm also losing track of things.
So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions? Or should I make camp here? Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course. Let me go home.
Naruto, I'm afraid that we are in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do I do now? Actually, now that I have an opening. So there's actually, I want to put a fun fact. This is a thing that they changed from versions. Before Chronicles, this came out. You actually couldn't see the very clear indication that there was a damage to the book. So they went back and edited it so it made it more obvious that there's a burn mark right there, because it wasn't as obvious before they localized it. So yeah, that was a small touch-up I thought I'd just mention. But we're gonna look at the book now because that don't look right.
Oh, look at this. The book is in badly burnt.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state. Especially not the latter pages.
A terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
Huh. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me?
the fourth book, a book entitled The Lion's Pride, discovered in the victim's hand at the scene. The back cover is badly burnt, which is why I personally don't use books to hide knives.
It just occurred to me.
Yes.
Thank you, Majima.
Didn't the landlords talk about a lion or whatever? Or no,
Yes.
Herlock?
Yes, they did.
Huh. I don't know how that ties into anything, but you know, just throwing that out there.
Well, let's raise an objection.
Objection.
I'm not done yet.
What a good exception.
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... Sir, you have to do more here. I can't think of what to say. Just throw the book at him. Here we go. Throw the book at him.
Boot to the head!
Yes, I may, Lord Lansix. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed.
Yeah, your little insignificant Western Isle is definitely a lawless hole.
I'll ignore that. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
She's my assistant. She's allowed to object. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Naruto.
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So,
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that going around, sir, sure.
Yep. Historically, Great Britain is known for tolerance. Yes.
Man. Sure.
the world is fucked.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Misery makes me laugh for some reason. So, the court will hear you, madam.
You know, there's a lot of tolerance if it's if it doesn't affect you or something.
Yeah.
I tried to be tolerant.
If there's anything that tells you that this game is a pure work of fiction, it's that.
Dog!
Go ahead. That's right,
Sorry.
doggy.
No, it's okay. The dog agrees. I agree. Go
Dog
ahead.
agrees.
Go ahead, Mr. Sato. Please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Miss Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their learnings in a moment.
Leanings?
That
Sure.
too.
And of course, they should ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So you must take this opportunity to examine this newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mr. Sato. Well, I've already done that.
It's a good thing we can pause court at any time so we can do just that.
This is it. Susato-chan has managed to win us one last chance here.
Dang, this relationship got real familial.
I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case, and has
Hitherto.
Armbands.
hitherto been overlooked.
Take that!
Let's look at the book. I'm gonna throw the book at you. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length.
No, we didn't. Shut up.
Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it.
Sir, do you miss the burn mark that's on? Okay, sure.
I miss going home.
Why did you come back? You were retired for 5 years.
Because apparently there are no other prosecution lawyers because everyone is terrible at their jobs.
I know. You know what? I can believe that.
That's fair.
Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time. And mine, as you well know.
Well, good news. I'm a master at wasting people's time.
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter.
What?
When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
It's not Hodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may very well be right on track.
yes, I think you might be right.
So, Counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals?
Can we open the book?
No. Won't let me. I can't select anything else but the burn mark, so.
Okay.
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Good gracious.
Okay, seriously, how do y'all miss this?
It's been burned to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching that what is clearly an unreadable book? It's undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing. Rubble, 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 rubble.
Beats are just here like, oh, okay, that's nice, I guess.
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh,
Do you read burned books?
Right to concede the point. If it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Ray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
I mean, I guess he could have just argued it was burned a different day, but this is Ace Attorney, so it had to happen on the day. A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry Thomas suffered?
It's not the shop.
Would it be the owner in that case?
I think it's the owner because the only thing that we're all... I don't know about all...
We can all guess
of
on
it,
at least.
Yeah.
But it's the landowners. The landlords.
It's not. Yeah, I think the whole point of the game is trying to think. Oh, well, she's the owner. And she's not the owner. She just found it.
My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor, after all. It's obviously hers.
People can grab things they don't own. You know that, right?
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Gracious, how can you possibly?
Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. What the hell, I've got an hour to kill. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Mr. Gardev.
Take that!
The moon guy.
Moon guy! The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Gardev.
The landlords?
He's afraid of them, apparently, from that reaction.
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Gardev herself.
Oh my goodness! Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Gandalf's wife. I'm his maid.
that doesn't make it better. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garretiff's house? She's gonna lie, you know.
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused This woman is the accused... Alright, hang on. This woman is the accused's landlady, you say? You implicate this hardworking member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garretiff's house.
Good lord. What sort of incident, counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Pleased to say, oh god, I went to the judge voice. Pleased to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bully thing. Didn't take too long for the fire to spread, of course. The bully furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite. Oh, wait, why is there a period? Book called The Lion's Pride.
Shrugs.
I can understand,
Oh.
I lost my favorite. The book was called Lion's Pride. Like, I can see what they're going for there, but...
Yeah.
That's an anime face there.
That's a JoJo face.
That is Seto Kaiba wants a duel.
Yeah! Omae no tanda!
The Lion's Pride.
By Jove, the very same title that's the subject of this debate.
Objection!
I love the dog barking, it's great.
Risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime.
There was a window, sir. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital?
Marital.
I was about to say Marshall, and I was like, wait, no, the eye's over here. Marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garretiff was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garretiff even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. That's... Well, yeah, no, that is what we're talking about, isn't it?
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there's no reports of the Garretiff's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garretiff household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and...
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season. and the chilling weather that accompanies it.
Sir, there was a fire.
Yeah, like there's a.
Sir, there was
I
a fire.
agree.
I get you, but there was a fire.
This is like way too convenient, but also fire.
No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
That...
You know, unless there's a fire.
Say?
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, Counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garridib's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord. Rumble, 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 rumble. Is juror 1? No. Alright.
That makes sense.
And I hope that everyone can see for what you are now, you little foreigner trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A coward!
Really?
Ending that allude thief to the whole neighborhood. Alright, honestly.
I think you're exaggerating, but go off.
I am... Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake? How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case. None of it. All you've done is silly our family's name.
I love how your dog is barking whenever every time
Yeah.
Mrs. Garridib is talking, and I think that's really funny.
No, I think the dog's on the right of it.
Yeah. No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
What?
Sorry.
Dragging up saying Slice's name through the mud is simply to divert attention for your failing defense.
Cause like, no lie, cause I've been around dogs enough, but the amount of like anxiety and like tension that Mrs. Garridib gives off, she would make the dogs bark. And oh, okay.
I should watch your ears. What I should do? It's utterly unforgivable.
You're wearing a wedding ring, ma'am.
Yeah.
Who?
That ride never went through. Oh, that's okay. Here we
Two.
Here we go. Ah shit, here we go again.
How long have we sat here now? Listen to this Nipponese spouting his fancy foreign theories. But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true. Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Sorry! What's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks?
Oh, I believe the victim is entirely hidden. What the hell do you think, my lord?
I'm obligated to say that.
That's fair, yes. In truth, my lord, feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait. The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been. Oh, leg. Okay.
If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
Damn. What? No forgive the discordancy this time?
No, none of that.
Ahem. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guess we're doing it again.
Don't we just straight up lose?
Thank you for that unambiguous response, and thank you for leaving out the racism.
That's twice now. It's over.
No, don't give up.
Mr. Sato?
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
Cool. I guess we can keep doing the summation examination. There's apparently no limit to this, so I guess we'll just do it again in the next video, because we're out of time.
This feels broken.
We'll
You
see
know,
you
but
later.
you know what also feels broken? Broken Van Zeeks.
Oh my god.